Welcome back, everyone. Warm up with a cup of soup on this snowy day. Chef Austin Buhler here to make his French onion recipe.
Yes.
It is one of my favorites to order.
Well, good.
Piping hot, the French toast with the cheese on top. Nothing better.
Nothing better at all. French onion is one of my absolute favorites too. And when I started dating my boyfriend, he's allergic to meat, right? He can't have the beef and stuff that's in it, so he'd never had this. I worked on a way of finding a way how to make this in a vegetarian way that tastes exactly the same.
Okay, exactly the same.
Yep.
And you've been working on this for quite a while, haven't you?
Quite some time, almost 2 years now, yes.
And so 2 years, labor of love, and you were actually going to give out the secret?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm giving every bit of the detail. I was making it just for you guys
That
here,
doesn't always
too,
happen here on the show.
No, not always.
This is a big deal.
It is, yes.
Okay,
So,
Austin, what do we start with? Onions, right?
So, yep, onions. I've got, there's about 6 really big sweet onions. You want the sweet ones?
Sweet, not just the white onions,
not just the white ones.
The yellow onions,
Yep.
the sweet.
You want that sweet one. They're sweeter, they help caramelize. And then you're gonna cut them up really nice and thin. You're gonna put them in with a couple tablespoons of butter. And then you're gonna let these slow cook over like a medium-low heat until they get this really nice, soft, tender, caramelized color. That takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, so it takes a while.
Yeah.
So you just let it sit and do something else in the
And
meantime.
while that's going, I have it ready because it takes a little bit of a minute to go.
So Austin, do you have a way to cut onions without crying and feeling, no. You just gotta get in there.
Go through it. It's gotta go
Take
through
breaks,
it.
maybe.
Yep.
6 onions is a lot, okay.
It is. This is the secret that makes it as close to beef as possible.
Okay.
Is instead of using beef stock like you usually would, I make a mushroom broth. And so I take water.
Okay.
You can take the peelings of these onions, so that way you're not wasting, and put those in there, and then you're getting dried mushrooms. And so you can get them at a lot of grocery stores, a lot of Asian markets use dried mushrooms. And you're gonna put about 2 ounces of those mushrooms in 8 cups of water, and you're gonna let that simmer for 45 minutes to an hour.
So you kind of do this at the same time?
Yep. So you can start this and then go to this so you're kind of getting them ready to roll, right? And then once these are both done and you got this nice and pretty and delicious over here, we're gonna add about a cup of vermouth. It's a dry vermouth, or you can use sherry. I actually prefer the vermouth though.
So vermouth is alcoholic?
Yes,
Can I smell
this
that?
is a type of wine, for sure.
It's a type of wine.
Yes, it's a type of wine. It's like a fortified wine. I think like the technical term's like an aperitif, where it's got like all the herbs and stuff like that in it.
And it's good for digestion, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it adds so much richness and flavor to here. And then we're also going to add in some Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce,
Yes.
okay.
And this is why I say it's vegetarian, not necessarily vegan, because there's anchovies in Worcestershire sauce.
Oh,
and then we use butter.
That's what the flavoring is. Okay.
And then we're also doing some balsamic vinegar for acid in here.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And then we are going to dump in that mushroom broth that we made.
So far all of it is vegetarian, all of it?
Yes, yep, all of it's vegetarian.
Beginning and end?
Yep. Okay, now there's a secret that I was gonna share, and then last time when I was buying ingredients, I found a better one. Okay.
Don't you love that?
Yes.
You're like, wait, after making this so many times, I can make it even better.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So both will work perfect. There's we used them last time. They're called not beef. They're little bouillon cubes.
Okay.
But they're hard to find and they're kind of expensive. When I was shopping for the au jus stuff for the French dips, I came across this Johnny Salt's au jus mix here. This is vegetarian. There's no meat in this whatsoever, and so this is readily available on your shelves.
And so you can make the au jus sauce and make onion soup.
Yes.
What a great pairing.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we're gonna throw probably about a tablespoon in there.
And wait, where can you get that?
Any grocery store. I found them all like.
Tell me again. It is called the Johnny's French Dip Au Jus.
Yes.
Okay.
Double check the back just to make sure that between now when I say that and they come out with a new one that has meat in it.
Okay, just double check if you have vegetarians in your household that this is the one. Just double check it. Okay.
Yep. And then we're gonna add in some thyme, bay leaf, salt, and this is salt to your taste because depending on what ingredient you use, it's gonna change it up. And then the thing that really is missing when you do vegetarian stuff is that rich umami flavor, that meaty flavor, right? And that comes from MSG in foods. And a lot of people have this stigma that MSG is terrible for you. MSG is naturally in almost everything that you eat.
Really?
So even the addition of it into your food isn't that bad. Just don't
overdo it,
right?
Okay.
So at that point, you're gonna let all that simmer.
Wait, so with the MSG, did you add MSG?
Yeah, so that was in here.
Oh, that was in
and you
there.
can find it on your store shelves. It's just called Accent. or you can find it under
Accent
MSG.
is MSG?
Yep, monosodium glutamate. It's just a salt.
I did not know that.
Yep, that's it. And so that'll simmer for about an hour, and then you're gonna put them in your
Magic of
Crocs.
TV.
Put them in your Crocs.
Yeah.
Top them with some.
Look how piping, boiling hot. Be really careful,
Yes.
Austin.
In my notes, it says to make sure you're careful. But you're going to top it with a crispy toast. We actually are using the country bread that I made on air a few months ago.
Okay, you're right.
And then toasted that up, topped it with Swiss cheese, put it under the broiler till it's nice and brown, and you're good to go.
Look at that. It is boiling hot. How much in the oven? How long?
Just until it browns. So like that went in right before it starts, about 5 minutes.
Okay, I can't taste it.
way
or I'll
too hot.
Burn my mouth and my
Yes.
tongue, but this looks amazing.
Thank you.
And you use Gruyere cheese?
Yep, Gruyere cheese.
By the way, 25% off and free shipping before, well, you're extending this.
Yes, I'm going to extend it. I got a bunch of messages in between the last segment that the website's not working. So this is going to extend until the end of today.
And this is for your amazing salts that make your
Yes.
dishes incredible. And I like your code. I love GTU.
Right, I do too.
I do too. Don't we all?